Hello. Iris is a hero of the month, right? So if we do, like I said, she's the hero of the month. Probably should do this video a couple days ago, but I've had other things to do videos about. So a lot of you got Iris this month if you didn't have her already. So it's time to do a video about her. So Iris is, of course, the newest hero in the game. She is a mage. Her main stats: intelligence. Iris, gifted and audacious in equal measure. Iris used to teach rookie sorcerers the art of magic, but her students' unequivocal adoration could never sate her ambitions. In her pursuit of the arcane, she stole the ancient Umbra tome from the Archdemon's private library, only to end up trapped within the book for years to come. Released at last and forever bound to the dark arts, Iris has emerged as a warlock. Kind of a perfect timing for this to be her month, since Archdemon's Revenge is gonna be an event we have in a couple weeks. So she has 4 skills. Her ultimate, this is This is her main ability that you'd want to use her for. Her Iris exposes the soul, an unprotected part of the soul, in the nearest enemy's body for 13 seconds. All damage taken by the soul is transferred to its owner as pure damage. So this is a big deal because, one, this does a lot of damage. This has, like I said, it's 2% of Iris's health, plus a number based on the level. So it's a lot of pure damage. You could put Albus on her to make it a lot higher. So she ends up being a tank slayer because the exposed part of the soul, it's right there. It goes in front of the team, and it, like I said, the soul cannot mitigate, so there's no mitigation, so no armor, no dodge, no magic defense or anything. It goes straight to pure damage. Bubbles of Justice can't redistribute it. There's only a couple of abilities that can actually block pure damage. They are not sufficient for this ability, so this is really an ability. 13 seconds is like forever in this game. So this is one of those abilities that you really can't do much about other than try to kill Iris before she does it, or try to, like I said, you can try moving your hero's position or the other team's position so your heroes move forward. There's few abilities that do that. So this is definitely a hard ability to deal with. It's not quite as game breaking as I thought it was going to be at first, but it's still a pretty powerful ability and definitely makes Iris a hero that is worth considering. Otherworldly creature summons a familiar next to the farthest enemy on the battlefield. The familiar then makes its way back to Iris, biting enemies along the way. Each successful bite deals more damage than the last. Damage to the first bite. So this is physical attack based on magic damage. So she's kind of like Cornelius. Does physical attack based on magic damage. So it's kind of interesting that way. It said, upon return to Iris, the familiar grants her soul fury charges accumulated by successful attacks, boosting your next basic attack. And then Seed of Destruction. Iris partly absorbs the health of all enemies on the battlefield and conjures Seed Destruction. Seed Destruction is then launched to the nearest enemy, dealing physical damage equal to the total health absorbed. So she absorbs health and then throws it, so she has a bit of health self-healing. Not a lot. She really doesn't do a lot of self-healing, and she's pretty fragile. Her max health is pretty low, probably because of how Exposed Soul works. But she's definitely kind of a glass cannon. See, she just has her default skin, intelligence. She'll probably get a new skin eventually, I imagine. So glyphs, she has magic attack, health, magic defense, armor pen, intelligence. Because her ult is based on her health, you probably want to do health first. Like that's would be the one you'd want to focus on first. I said then she has interestingly, she has armor pen. That'd probably be the second one because she does physical damage based on magic attack. She's a bit different that way. And then probably magic attack, then intelligence, and probably magic defense last. On that, so I do health, armor pen, magic attack, intelligence, and then we can do her artifacts. Right, so she gets magic attack artifact, and then a health book, and then of course a ring. So you probably, for most saves, like I said, it really depends. Like if you need the magic, if you're doing if you have her in a magic based team, you might want this one, but otherwise you probably just want to do the health book because health is what you get value out of for her ult. This really depends on what else you plan on playing her with. If you're using a lot of mage heroes that need that benefit for the magic hack, you might want to do this one first. Otherwise, this is the one you want to do. In pretty much either case, this is probably the last one you want to do. That's probably the last artifact you want to work on Iris with. Anything else? So let's go look at her ascension. She does not have any special ascension skills, even though she's a new hero. They did not give her any. But she has a lot of, like I said, she has magic attack and armor pen. Like I said, she's, as far as I know, the only intelligence-based hero that gets armor pen right now. So then she's definitely unique in her abilities and stuff. But she does have a lot of magic attack, a lot of armor pen. Does have a couple of health. Health is, again, main thing you want from this, so wow, that's a lot of armor pen right there. So pretty much what you'd expect. It's probably where you get most of her health is going to be from these. She's pretty fragile otherwise, but she does end up with a whole lot of intelligence, so she actually is, like I said, she is similar to Cornelius, but also like a hero that is vulnerable to Cornelius, but of course, Bubbles Justice really hoses Cornelius, and I believe you can patron her with Axel. So if you... Iris, can you patron... No, you cannot patron her with Axel, so that is actually... You cannot patron her with Axel, so she could be vulnerable to Cornelius, but again, Bubbles Justice can redistribute it, plus Dodge can... Like I said, she can dodge if you have dodge buff up with a hero or whatever, or you have Kane. Kane is the pet. Like I said, so Cornelius is still a fairly weak option, but Cornelius can counter her. We should probably talk about her other pet. The other pets though she has. Albus is generally going to be the one you want because that's going to do the most damage. Because that promos that adds 75% extra pure damage when it's maxed. Biscuits. And Oliver raises her max health, which would also give her a boost to her ultimates because it's 200% health. So that actually is like 200k more damage. So that's actually a big boost as well. So between Oliver and Albus, like I said, they both give a pretty big boost. Honestly, like I said, Oliver might have, in some ways, might be better than Albus, depending. But Albus also raises her magic attack. But Biscuit... Right, she does have a multiple target hit with Bitey, but I think for most people, like Biscuit's probably going to be the worst pet of those three there. I mean, you can try to use it to get status effects, but she doesn't have like any status effects of her own, so that's kind of like, so Biscuit's kind of meh. I don't really see Biscuit as a viable thing. It'd be either Albus or Oliver on her, because it's... So let's see, where's stats? There you go, patronage. So it's like I said, it's 100k HP. That's a lot. So that's like, so that is like I said, since it's 200%, that'd be like 200k more damage on her ult. And this pure victory adds 75% more pure damage, plus it adds magic attack. So you'd probably get, like I said, let me go find her because mine's not max, so. Yeah, no, you definitely get more damage. Like, if you have her max, like, you definitely get more damage, extra damage off Albus, but Oliver definitely give her a bit more survivability. Like, both of them are good choices for her. It just really depends on, like, what else you need in your team. And speaking of teams, like, generally, like, I don't know, Iris seems to work best is kind of like if you pair her with, like, Isaac or something, like, because you want to put her with somebody who does some status effects. Like, I've noticed Isaac, Iris seems to work really well together. Against teams, again, of course, Isaac is kind of weak against, like, pure or physical teams. Like, you know, if they don't have any magic attackers, he's kind of meh, but, like, a line like I said, we could just put, like, something like that. That could be probably a decent Iris team, something like this. You'd probably do that. And probably Alex there, something just with the Holy Trinity. That's probably, like I said, honestly, like, and you can switch this up a bit, but a lot of times, like I said, with a lot of teams, I usually, like, a good base is just Aurora, Celeste, and Sebastian. Like, they're kind of, like, the best core to build around, because you can put really just about any two heroes with them and have a good team. But like I said, Iris, Isaac work well together, based on what I've seen. Usually you want to have Iris as somebody who can status effects, so you can force the other team to use Sebastian. Because if they don't, like I've seen Irish teams where they don't have any status effects, there's no reason for me to bring Sebastian, so I found those teams pretty easy to defeat. So like someone like Isaac or something with her, I think is probably going to give you your best mileage out of her. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys found this video informative. Thank you for watching.